Hello and welcome to another Campbell Salt Middle School video tutorial. In this episode I'm going to be walking you through setting up your Jigsaw puzzle laser cut file. We're going to be using one program today, and that program is RDWorks V8. Go ahead and double click the red and black striped icon to open up the program. Now, I've already given you a rundown in class about how this program works, how the laser works, and what we're going to be doing with it. So I'm going to dive right in to the importing of the file we're going to be working with and setting it up for success. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do is set our page size to the appropriate size for our work today, and that size is 150 millimeters wide by 150 millimeters tall. Follow my mouse up here, and we're going to click on Config. Then we're going to come down and we're going to click on Page Setting. And I'm going to set these two numbers here, page width and page height, both to 150. 150 by 150. And I'm going to click OK. All right. So now you can see I am at 150 and I'm at 150. Okay. Now this is a fairly straightforward exercise here. We're going to be importing a file, we're going to be sizing it, and then we're going to be shooting it off to the laser. So here we go. First I'm going to come up here to the import button, and I'm going to click that. I'm going to use this drop-down menu to find my way to the CHMS TechEd file. Okay, you might end up being any number of places, but always come up to this drop-down menu and get yourself to the CHMS TechEd file, and then you're going to come back to home base. We are in 5th grade, so we're going to double-click that to open it. And then depending on which team you're on, you're going to double-click that team, and you're going to see waiting for you here the template that we're going to use for this. Okay, it's called the 5th grade Jigsaw template. I'm going to click that. I'm going to look at the preview over here, and I'm going to click Open. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, all I see is a jigsaw puzzle, but if you zoom out using your scrolling wheel, you're going to notice that my 150 millimeter by 150 millimeter square, well, we want to fill that up with the jigsaw puzzle. Now, before you go and grab onto a corner and start stretching things out, I need you to do one very important step for me, and we need to group all of these objects together before we stretch them, just like in Tinkercad. If you go ahead and stretch this out, we're going to cause some trouble. So the first thing I'm going to do, click away so that this turns to red, draw a box around this whole thing to select it all. We're going to come up here, we're going to click the group button. Now I can use the corners to stretch this out. So I'm going to stretch this one out into this corner here. I'm going to leave it a little shy of the corner. I'm going to fix that later. I'm going to stretch this one up to the upper corner here. And again, I'm going to stay a little shy of that corner. Now, I'm going to zoom in on that corner. Notice that this program zooms in to exactly where your mouse is pointing. So I'm going to point at a corner and I'm going to zoom in. Now I'm going to fine tune this. I'm going to drag this right to the corner. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to come point at this corner, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to drag this corner right to a corner. Beautiful. Great. Now, I'm going to take a look at how this looks. I'm liking that. Make sure all these corners are filled up. Now I need to set the speed and the power of the laser to do its work correctly. So follow me over here. You're going to notice when you click away from your object, the whole thing turns red. Come over here to the output menu. The corresponding red color is called a cut line, which is good. That's what we want. You're going to notice down here that it's working at a power of 85 and a speed of 7. Okay? We need to change one thing about that. So go ahead and double click on the red bar right here. 85 is the power we want, so we don't need to change that. If you are in here and you are seeing a number that is not 85, change it to 85. All 4 of these need to read 85. Okay? Except this power up here, or the speed rather, needs to be 10. So speed of 10, power of 85, all around, click OK. When you're at this stage, if you're feeling pretty good about your work so far, you can click this little computer monitor up here, which is the preview button. We can get a preview of our work. Now, a word of caution, don't try to zoom in or out when you're looking at this page. Okay? But I can come over here and I can click simulation. And I can actually see the laser doing its work. Now this is obviously going much faster than it would. That might be more the speed the laser is going to work at. But you can see each and every one of your little individual cuts. I would recommend running the simulator just to make sure that the laser gets around every cut line you have cut in here before calling me over. Okay, if you're satisfied with this, I'm going to run you through a saving procedure. Okay, follow my mouse. We're going to come up to File. We're going to come down to Save As. And depending on which team you're in, I'm going to have you click your way to it. So if you want to start back at CHMS Tech Ed, go ahead, double-click 5th. If you're in Polaris, double-click Polaris. We are trimester 2. Incidentally, if you're taking this class trimester 3, click that one. Obviously, click the trimester you're in. So let's go back to trimester 2. And are we doing tic-tac-toe lids? No, we're doing jigsaw cuts. So we're going to place it right here. You're going to type your name. Okay? I'm going to type Mr. Keating. That's all I need to type, and I'm going to press Save. Okay. Once you've done that, you should see your file name up at the top here. Once that is true, you are ready to have me come over and double check your file and bring it to the laser. Thanks for watching.